everybody, and welcome to part two. We had technical difficulties.
Yes, technical difficulties.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's all I'm going to say.
Yes.
So, fuck it. Let's start with NFL.
NFL.
Well, Lions losing wasn't great.
We should have won that game. There were a couple plays that I didn't really like. Running the ball up the middle on 3rd and 11.
Yeah,
What the hell?
Also, only having 5 yards in the third quarter. Not great.
Yeah, and you can't start out the second half by going your first 3 drives 3 and out.
Yeah.
Or, punting on your first 3 drives.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty much game over at that point. I was like, we can't catch up.
Right now, we have a 46% chance at 8-6 to make the playoffs. If we win out, we'll have a 96% chance of making it to the playoffs.
The question is, are you winning out? Are you beating the Packers and the Bears?
It's really we
or
don't
the Vikings and the Bears.
It's really hard to decide because we have the Steelers coming up.
Who are also 8-6.
Yes, but I don't even know who else they play. But it's also we need the Bears to lose.
We do, yeah. We do need the Bears to lose. And the Vikings, too.
Yeah, we need the Vikings to lose. For some reason, J.J. McCarthy went off on the Cowboys.
The Steelers are playing the Browns and the Ravens for their last 2 games.
So Ravens would be the best chance.
Of them getting a loss, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're in the AFC, so it doesn't matter for our side of the bracket anymore.
Yeah, I guess. But, yeah, man, it was just disappointing that we can't put 2 games together. And if they do make it to the playoffs, that's going to be the argument right away. We haven't won back-to-back games basically all year.
We haven't won back-to-back games in, I think, 80 days.
Yeah.
Something like this, almost 3 months. The last time we did was in September.
Yeah. So, that's going to be the argument if you do make it to the playoffs because you'll be a wild card.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we statistically can't beat or take like a spot in the division.
Yeah.
Because we don't play the Packers anymore, and the Bears are too far ahead of us.
Yeah. So it's just frustrating, man, because our DBs can't cover worth of shit. Can't play man. So you need help from the linebackers, and that frees up the middle, where there's going to be short, shallow passes.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see because Dan Campbell even said it. He's like, we need more. He's like, because offense put up 34 points against the best NFL defense right now, statistically.
Yes, it's not the offense that's the problem. Even though you didn't really run the ball very good with J-Mo and with Montgomery last game, you still threw the ball and you still got the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, it was crazy how efficient passing he was. Even Hutch had a pretty decent game with the interception.
It wasn't the defensive line. It wasn't the defensive line really or the secondary that was the problem. It seemed like it was the linebacker core, and I guess the secondary too a little bit because they were banged up.
You let Puka have like 112 yards.
There was Daniel Thomas and Thomas Harper were not good in the secondary. Puka had over 100 yards. Devontae Adams got hot later in the game. You let I forget what their tight end's name is. Ferguson. You let Parkinson. You let him catch a couple passes that were deep.
Yeah, we said it last year, man. We were so hurt, but DJ Reed hasn't shown anything really all that phenomenal. Especially last game, he wasn't all that phenomenal. We signed Avonte Maddox. He didn't really do shit. Without Kirby Joseph, without obviously Branch, without Terry and Arnold, man, it's like what the fuck.
And really, you can argue that when we had Kirby Joseph and we had Brian Branch, even with Arnold out, it was still our defense was still fine. Like we had, that one game when I think it was Kirby Joseph's first game on the injured list, and it was when Brian Branch was suspended.
Yeah.
And Arnold was out already at that point. You had the Legion of Boom, and they kind of took over. And it was like, okay. It was like, if our depth can hold up, if our depth can play like this and we get our big names back, our defense, at least our secondary in the defense, will be fine.
Yeah.
But now you lose those guys again. Kirby for obviously the rest of the year. Who knows how far Branch is going to come back. Arnold will be probably out for at least the rest of the year. You really don't know what's going to happen with the rest of the secondary because you have three starters really only that are active. Right
Yeah.
now. You have Khalil Dorsey, Amik Robertson, and DJ Reed.
Yeah.
Those are the three starting defensive backs that are still healthy.
Yeah, man. And DJ Reed was hurt too.
He was playing hurt.
Yeah. So
and then he was hurt for a while too, in the middle of the year.
It's just frustrating as a Lions fan.
And I heard something on the radio too. They were talking about how much more of the coach speak from Dan Campbell can you take, and him saying that it was his fault. At some point, you have to learn from your mistakes and what you've been doing wrong, and so that it becomes not your fault. And then also, is he not being truthful when he says that it's his fault and he doesn't want to call out his players?
Well, for the most part, if you're a coach, that's what you're supposed to do.
I get it, but at the same time, you sometimes calling out your guys is the thing to do as well.
Yeah, I get it, but at the same time, they haven't lost back-to-back games. So whatever happens the week after a loss, they figure it out.
No, but if you lose one, then win one, and then lose one again, it's going to catch up to you, and it's not going to be good enough.
I know.
So it's like you have to kind of you almost would want him to say that. Be like, it's, what we're doing is not good enough.
Yeah, I get it, but it's hard too because, it's not just the secondary's fault. It starts with the defensive lineman because you need pressure. And Hutch, he's a great player, but if you actually look at the tape and actually dive into it, a lot of the times he is a one-trick pony, but the fact that he has relentless effort really helps.
It does, but it goes back to that discussion with him and like some of the top defensive ends and top paid defensive ends in the league. It's like, you see guys like when Aaron Donald was playing, when Khalil Mack was in his prime, or guys now like TJ Watt, Max Crosby, Myles Garrett. Those are guys who are, Jalen Carter, guys, who are elite defensive ends, elite edge rushers. They're getting double teamed almost every single snap. And Aiden Hutchinson is getting double teamed also every single snap too, but those guys are still making plays. And Aiden Hutchinson, he does make plays, but they're fewer and farther between.
Yeah, it's definitely changed after his injury.
It has, and I mean, I didn't expect him to be up and running again immediately right after he came back. I mean, it's going to take, maybe even after this season, maybe next season once he has another training camp underneath his belt, and he goes through training camp not being cautious and not kind of still nursing an injury, that he'll be in his full form again.
I will say though, Aaron Donald was in a league of his own. So that it's not a fair comparison because Aaron Donald really played every single position on the D-line, but he also had a pretty damn good supporting cast.
See, I would argue that it is a fair comparison because Aiden Hutchinson can play one of those interior positions in some set plays, and he gets paid like he's an elite defensive end and he's a league of his own. So if you're getting paid with those upper-class defensive ends, you better play like them.
I can agree with that, but for the most part, like, I don't know you need a guy on the opposite edge. Now, Muhammad has played great.
He has had games, yes.
But I'm not saying you need the Trey Hendrickson, but you need somebody like it.
No, not Trey Hendrickson specifically, but you do need another name on that other end, even if it's for like 1 or 2 year rental and then he moves on and you get somebody else.
That's why I don't like how Brad Holmes is dealing with this, because he's like, we already have a guy in Aiden Hutchinson. The problem isn't whether you have a guy or not, it's whether or not you can let that guy have the one-on-one matchups because most of the time he's probably winning the one-on-one.
No, and I mean that was the thing too when we were talking about. I think it was this offseason. It was like you would have a stacked defensive line. Like you would have Aiden Hutchinson, DJ Reader. We're listing all these healthy dudes. McNeil obviously came back, who hasn't played
Yeah.
to his dollar sign either, in only McNeil. And then you would have either Trey Hendrickson or a guy like Max Crosby or Myles Garrett when they were up in the air.
Yeah, and Tyreek Williams has basically done nothing.
He had a maybe like one or two good games where he had like good stat lines, not really a lot of impact plays though. But yeah, for the most part he's been absent.
You'll hear this throughout football all the time. Your identity of the team is the offensive line
The trenches.
and the defensive line because that's literally how you build a team.
Oh yeah.
Our offensive line
It's banged up.
is banged up, but granted, we're almost, I believe we are one of the top scoring offenses in the NFL, and that's strictly based off of the attitude that our offensive line has.
We are, but like, you notice even from last year where we had a pretty banged up offensive line, we're not able to do the same things that we are as an offense.
No.
And I mean, this next draft, you don't have any third round picks, but the entire draft, 1 through, we'll have at least hopefully 6 if we don't have any third round picks, at least 6 picks. It better be all linemen. You don't need any skilled position player, maybe a defensive back, but you don't need any linebackers because the market is full of them for free agency right now. Secondly, you have defensive backs that are going to be coming back from injury and from hopefully the depths of the bowels of the depth chart in guys like Terry and Arnold, who haven't been playing very well, even when he was healthy. And you don't need any offensive weapons because you have
Your
two in
offense
development.
is fine.
You-
Offensive skill, I
You
should say.
You have 2 in development really right now. And you have Jameson Williams, who's really on his 3rd and a half-ish year, even though he's a 4th-year player technically, and then Tesla. And you still have Khalif Raymond, and you're still going to have Amon Ra. And who knows about David Montgomery, because I think he's a free agent. But then you still have the superpower in Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah. Here's what I would do if I were them. I would have to look at the free agency market and see who's going to end up leaving because that affects it. But as of right now, with not knowing that in the draft, and this is honestly for a couple of, like, Rakestraw is a great example.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would try to trade him.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't played really at all.
I would try to trade him for something just to get the
Yeah.
picks. But say we don't do that, and say at best we have 6 picks, or whatever it is. Let's just say
Yeah.
it's 6 for easy numbers. I would at least get 3 offensive linemen. At least 3. I would try to push for 4.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this entire draft, if you have 6 picks, minus the 3rd round, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would get all linemen of any variety, at least offensive and defensive linemen.
Yeah.
But that's all that I would really pick for.
I would push for probably 4 offensive linemen, 1 defensive lineman. I don't take your pick where. I would like an edge probably, just to have more depth on the edge, and then I would take a DB, something.
Really, anything on the defensive line. But I mean, I think the pending free agents that we have, the 2 that I'm thinking of off the top of my head, I think Anzalone is a pending free agent. David Montgomery, but that's on the offense, like a weapon.
Yeah.
But then the other offensive lineman, I think Graham Glasgow is a free agent.
Fuck.
So you're going to have, and there are talks about Taylor Decker possibly retiring due to injury because he's already been in the league for, I think, 11 years,
Yeah.
10 years.
So if you're Brad Holmes, I would be fucking shaking right now because
I
that
would.
whole core, besides Penei and now Ratledge is actually kind of emerging.
Yeah.
That whole they're all going to retire, if not leave pretty soon, because they're all getting older.
Well,
And some of them are probably going to want to ring chase.
the thing about Ratledge is he was good and he was getting better because of who he had on either side of him. Now the guys on either side of them are hurt.
Yeah.
So you have a makeshift center in Graham Glasgow who has played center, but that's not his natural position. And you took that left tackle position away from him, and now you put someone in there who is now injured.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, was it Zeitler who was there? Because
Yeah,
Decker's on the right.
Zeitler was a guard.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Was it Decker? No, Decker was the...
It was Decker, Zeitler, Ragnow.
Jonah Jackson
Yeah.
when we went to the playoffs, and then Panay.
Yeah.
Or no. It was Decker, Glasgow, Ragnow, Zeitler, Panay.
Oh.
Because I remember you had Decker and Glasgow next to each other.
Yeah.
So you had, but then you, like I said, you moved Glasgow over, you moved Decker over, and Decker was hurt couple weeks out of the year, and you effectively have him out there on his own as a rookie.
Yeah.
So it's that.
It's to the point where Decker, no. I mean, granted, if you're an offensive lineman, you're going into the season knowing I'm going to get hurt. It's just a question of how bad.
Yeah, and when.
Yeah.
Because it could be right out of the gate and you play that entire year like that, or it could be at the very end of the year and you get hurt, like Zinter with Michigan a couple years ago.
Yeah. It's just rough, man, because those positions, the O-line and D-line, are exactly what make your team. And guess what? Goff is great when he has a good offensive line.
Oh yeah, I mean, forget just Goff. The entire team is
Yeah.
good when you have a good offensive line.
It's more exciting to watch because
Yeah.
it's AQ. It was almost like every week last year. AQ Shipley on the Pat McAfee show had the top 5 best offensive lines.
Offensive and defensive lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was always Lions' offensive line was at least top 4, if not top 3.
If not at the top, period.
Yeah.
The entire, weeks out of the year at a time.
It was basically a masterclass of O-line last year.
Oh yeah.
And it's just not there. It's not the same.
Yeah.
And it sucks. It's frustrating. It really is. But I don't know. I don't want to keep on talking about it because we got so much more NFL.
Yeah.
It's kind of beating a dead horse.
Yeah, we had a lot of torn ligaments this week.
Yeah.
Pat Mahomes is down.
I'm not happy that Pat Mahomes tore his ACL. I am happy the Chiefs aren't in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to see a dude. I mean, as much as he is annoying, and I don't want to see him win, he is good for the game.
Yeah.
And it does kind of suck to see him get hurt, because even though, like I said, I don't want to see him win, his highlights are still sweet.
Yeah.
He is still very good.
Dude, honestly, I think Andy Reid's going to retire, and I think Kelsey is done as well.
Yeah, I think so. Jason Kelsey commented on it, I think, on his podcast or on the post-game show. I can't remember which one. And he talked about, maybe some of that time away from the game, like more extended time away from the game. So he said maybe missing the playoffs is good for him. He can kind of explore what he would want to do after he's done with football.
Yeah, because you have 3 weeks left.
Yeah. Yeah, they're mathematically out. They are out of the playoffs.
Yeah,
now.
because the Chargers won, they were mathematically eliminated.
Yeah.
Like I said.
You see, Chris Jones didn't know that until the post game. He was like, we still have a chance to make the playoffs, I think. And then one of the reporters was like, no, you guys are out. And he was like, we're out. He was like, well, all right. But
Yeah.
well, okay.
And the fact of the matter is, Patrick Mahomes, arguably, well, I shouldn't even say arguably, Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He could retire tomorrow and be a Gold Jacket player.
Travis Kelsey, probably.
Hall of Famer.
Chris Jones will be in the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame, yeah.
There's so many Hall of Famers on that team, or were on that team as well.
Yeah.
Even having 3 Hall of Famers on your team all at once is a crazy statistic.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at like a lot of the teams that have been successful recently, they have realistically at least two.
Yeah.
I mean, because you look at the Eagles, Jordan Mailata and Jason Kelsey, Hall of Famers.
Yeah. I don't know about Jordan Mailata.
When it's all said and done, I think you will.
Probably.
Because he's a lot younger than Jason Kelsey is.
Probably like second ballot, maybe.
Yeah, but I think he'll still get in.
Well, Jason Kelsey, yes.
And then, I mean, and shit, you look at the Lions. Let's say, I mean, Panay, I think if Panay
has had a stellar career so far.
He had, like, if he plays 1 or 2 more years, he'll be in that conversation with a guy like Jason Kelsey where he'll be like, yeah, when he retires, he's going, like, immediately on, like, first ballot Hall of Fame.
It was like when Tom Brady, there's not even a question. Tom Brady, yes.
And once Panay retires, if he keeps doing what he's doing, even if he has 75% of the type of seasons that he's had up until this point, he's a gold jacket player.
Thank God the Lions extended it.
Dude, honestly. And then you look at a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs and Amon-Ra St. Brown. If they keep on playing the same way that they have, those guys can get in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that is true. It's just sad. Like, you don't...
Or, wait, sorry to cut you off, but Ragnow. I think Ragnow gets into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So there's already 2 right there.
Yeah.
And then Hutch.
But... Yeah, we're speculating.
You're right. Yeah,
we're speculating. But dude, there were. I think you sent it to me. It was a reel of what happened this NFL Sunday. Like 17 people tore ligaments.
Zach Ertz might be. I mean, his career might be over.
Yeah, that was. I think that was last week. Not.
I thought it was Thursday night.
It might have been. No, because they played the Giants.
Yeah.
This week on Sunday. So it was last week. Last week. But either way,
it was last week Monday. I think it was last week's Monday night game.
That sucks for him, man.
Yeah.
Because that one was like terrible.
Yeah, it was like, regardless of him being the age he is, if that happens to anybody, that's a devastating injury.
Yeah.
Like it was probably by far the worst one of this week.
Yeah.
Because it not only was it a torn ACL, but it was like, I think something else was, I can't remember if it was dislocated, but obviously hyperextended. But I think something else was dislocated or something, like contusion, like a major contusion or something.
The problem is he is old.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's probably already maybe 2 more years away from retiring to begin with.
Yeah.
So this might, like I was saying, might have just fast forwarded. That might have ended his career.
He might just say, fuck it.
Zach Ertz, Hall of Famer, question mark? 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah?
Or, no, I think just 1. I think he had the Nick Foles
He's been doing it for a long time. And he's been good for a long time.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised.
I would have to see his stats.
I would too. I would have to put it up against other people.
Yeah.
But we're going to play the Hall of Fame game forever.
Yeah. I mean, it is fun too.
It is.
It is
we are going to have to move on to college though.
Oh boy.
Let's talk about the Heisman first. Mendoza won the Heisman.
So I saw this. I think I might have the picture. I don't, unfortunately. But there was a post that I saw on Instagram, and it was like, Mendoza is by far like the worst Heisman winner of these past like 10 years or 5 years or like since 2020.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, like he didn't deserve to win it. And it's like, okay, well, who else deserved to win it? Because you saw the other players that he was up against, and they all had similar stats.
If you go by stats, it should have been Pavia.
Yeah, but if you go by also comparing stats and how the team did, Pavia's team did worse.
That's true.
So if he even though he had like slightly better stats, which I think Pavia had more touchdowns total, but Mendoza had more passing touchdowns.
Well,
and more passing yards. Pavia had more total yards and total touchdowns because he ran the ball.
Yeah, Pavia ran the ball. The problem is the Heisman literally has turned into
The best quarterback.
who's the most popular. I wouldn't even say best. It's the most popular. Like,
Yeah.
he had a good game against Ohio State, but it's not like he threw for 250 yards against it. He threw for like 130. And he had
No,
a
yeah.
touchdown and a pick.
But it also is kind of like that. I mean, I guess it does factor into the popularity thing. I remember there was one year. It's in the 1990s, and this is me nerding out again, with the Vezina Trophy. It was Brodeur, Waugh, or Hasek in the 1990s. Those were your three options for who won the Vezina Trophy almost every year in the 1990s. I think except for 1994 or 95.
Yeah, we went over this before.
Yeah, Jim Carrey
Yeah.
won it. And it's like, who the fuck is Jim Carrey? When
Not
you
the
look at it,
actor.
no, obviously not. But if you look at it, it's like he had like just barely under stats of definite first ballot, turn your brain off Hall of Famers
Yeah.
who won it consistently throughout the late 80s, early 2000s, and all the 1990s. So it's like, yeah, Waz got like 4, Hasek's got like 5 or 6, and Brodeur's got like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, we'll give him that one because he did play really, 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 really well, and he was just under like those Hall of Famers. Even though if we were going statistics wise, that Hall of Famer would have got another one. But it's like you played your ass off, and
Yeah.
you.
Well, if we were going
you
off
know.
of that point, it would have either been they wouldn't have gave it to the running back, so Jeremiah Love was screwed to begin with.
Well,
it would have been saying.
Well, no, that's not no. I don't think so because Jim Carrey, he was kind of like the odd man out. He hadn't won one before. This is Indiana's first Heisman Trophy ever.
Oh shit.
So they wanted to give one to the Indiana guy because it's their historic season. They could go all the way and win a national championship. There are people that have lived and died and not seen something like this happen with Indiana football.
That is true.
And there are people that probably will never see something like this again.
That is true.
So,
well, with Kurt behind the wheel,
you never know. I mean,
Kurt's sound bites, I think, are the most legendary sound bites I have ever heard.
Oh yeah, like I win, look me up.
Google me.
Yeah, Google me. But yeah, they wanted to give one to Mendoza because he did have. So I looked at it between him and Sayan. I can't remember which one it is, but I think he had more touchdowns than Sayan, but Sayan had more yards.
No. Well,
I mean,
I'd rather take the points in that situation.
So then you would take Mendoza.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, yeah, Ohio State had the better. Well, they actually had the same record. Well, no, they didn't because Indiana won. But he was ranked number 1 all year round, and Mendoza ended up beating Sayan, so that would leave Mendoza being the number 1 pick. And the reason why that people are saying, oh, like he didn't deserve it, is because he doesn't match up statistically with the other quarterbacks that have been named Heisman Trophy winners over the past few years.
I wanted that Texas Tech linebacker to win. Fuck you, quarterbacks, man.
I mean, yeah.
All right, I will say this. Watching... Now, Diego Pavia did not handle it well. Ish. But...
No, yeah, that's true.
But I will say, the video that came out of all the reporters around Mendoza, Love, and Pavia... And
then Sayan in the corner by himself.
Sayan with the one quarterback. That scares the fuck out of me now because he's going to be pissed.
I mean, yeah. But,
Because if I was in that situation, I only had one fucking guy on, I would be livid, man.
That picture is going to age one of two ways. Like wine or like milk.
Yeah.
It's either going to be like, the saying, even though he lost the Big Ten championship, he still took Ohio State to the national championship and won it, and that picture is going to be blowing up everywhere. Or he's going to get bounced in the first round, and it's going to be like Julian Saying sitting down for the rest of the year watching Indiana win the national championship. It's either going to age like wine or like milk.
I wish nothing but the best for the player. However, I hope you lose first round.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. we've talked about this before on this podcast, but like college is one thing. Once you leave college and you go to the pro, yeah, you still have that lineage, and I'm still going to know you as so and so from Ohio State, so and so from Michigan State.
Yes.
But even if you play for the Lions or you play for a different team, I'm still going to like you or dislike you based on what you do in the pros. College is a different thing. That's when we were talking about the NFL draft. I wanted the Lions to take Jack Sawyer because he was a good player.
Yeah.
And if he would have put on the Lions uniform, I would have rooted for him just as much as Hutch.
When you graduate college, and it doesn't matter at that point.
No.
Like, we will never badmouth you for being a Ohio State guy if you are a good player.
Just like Taylor Decker.
Yeah.
Taylor Decker, I mean, right on his fucking tricep, there's the O with the Buckeye.
Yeah.
And he's next to another Michigan guard,
Yeah.
Graham Glasgow. Now, am I partial to Graham Glasgow because he went to Michigan and I saw him play at Michigan? Yes. Am I partial to Aiden Hutchinson because I saw him play at Michigan? Yes. But do I like Taylor Decker and what he does for the Lions, and do I still root for him and want him to, stay healthy and want him to play? Absolutely, because he's a Lion and I root for the Lions.
It's important to make that distinction
Right.
because you can separate the player from the team very easily.
Oh yeah, just like
Now, if they turn out to be a piece of shit, it
Right.
just so helps.
just like AJ Hawk on the Pat McAfee show. When AJ Hawk was playing professional football, he was one of my favorite players to watch because of the way he played.
He's also
that
a
hard-nosed,
fucking badass.
that hard-nosed, run your head through a wall football.
Yeah.
And he wore the classic face mask and everything
Yeah.
like that. He was a really kick-ass player, even though he played for the Packers, and the Packers obviously with the Lions rivalry and everything,
Yeah.
and he was from Ohio State. But when he was a pro, I could say, okay, that's a cool player. And I don't think it was even until after he stopped playing that I found out he went to Ohio State. So I was like,
Oh.
I didn't even know it at the time, but then I was like, oh
Yeah.
shit.
He's
Well,
an
fuck it.
all-time leader
In tackles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right. And Pavia did not handle losing well. So what? Whatever.
No.
If I was an NFL franchise, do I wish he wasn't at the club flipping off the sign that said "fuck Indiana"? Yeah, I wouldn't prefer it, but on the other token is like, at least he hates to lose, and I know that.
Yeah, because as we've heard about it in, I think it's a quote from Shorzy.
It is.
It's they don't hate to lose.
They
And there's
love to win.
There's a difference between wanting to win and hating to lose, and it's in Moneyball too. Brad Pitt says it. Billy Bean.
I think that's where my coaches got it from because Shorzy wasn't a thing when
No.
I was growing up.
Yeah,
I think
I hate losing more than I want to win.
Coach B. I want to say Coach B because I forgot his name, his full last name, but his name was Coach B at my middle school / freshman year of high school, and we would have like talks, and this was like with every coach, and it's what's more important to you. What's more important to you? Do you love to win or do you hate to lose? And it's also happened in interviews too, from what I heard. But for me, it's always, I hated losing. Yeah, I love to win, but that's a side effect of hating to lose. Like,
Yeah. I mean, everybody should like to win, but it's how you handle losing. It's like, do you hate sitting in that and wallowing in it? Could have done this, should have done this. This could have happened differently. What would have happened if I did this? And you just keep on thinking about that, and you think,
yeah.
you think about the team that you lost to going further than you are in the playoffs or in the rankings or whatever.
I can't tell. Now this is a weird flex, but it's a flex. When I rarely lost in my second high school throughout college until I got to Madonna. Winning was great, but for the most part, I only remember the losses.
Oh,
and
yeah.
How different practice was throughout the weeks after.
Oh yeah, I brought it up. I think just a couple of podcasts ago. CYO basketball. I think it was like my seventh or eighth grade year. Um, we had a team where we had all these different tournaments. We had like the Easter tournament, the Thanksgiving tournament, the Christmas tournament, the All Saints tournament, shit like that.
Yeah.
And we dominated in those tournaments, won most of them.
Yeah.
But then when it came to our actual regular season, we got like 2 wins.
Yeah, bro.
And I remember losing the regular season and losing the majority of those games in the regular season more than I do winning the tournaments.
Yeah.
And that's just how, that's just how it is.
And
that's just how I remember it.
people might say this is like guys being bitches. I don't fucking care. The amount of times where you've lost like a big game and the amount of like depression and crying in that locker room is insane.
No, yeah, I mean, because think about it. Like, you see it in the Olympics all the time. Like, you see, when they announce the medals for, snowboarding or something like that, and you see dudes when they land that trick and they go back to the thing and they're waiting for their score and they see that score light up on the thing, it explode. Like, it's like the most joy you can see a person have ever because that hard work paid off. And then you see the person that got 4th place or they got 3rd place or that just missed out the difference between getting a silver and a gold medal, and you see them sometimes in tears.
Yeah.
And it's because you worked your ass off for 4 years for the Olympics, and when I'm using this example, to get so close, but then still lose.
Yeah.
And then you see somebody else who could have been you in that same spot. And it just, I mean, it rightfully so. And then same thing with dudes like in the March Madness tournament or in the Little League World Series. Granted, they're younger kids in the Little League World Series, but in March Madness, they're grown men. And you see them getting knocked out in the first round or knocked out in the Sweet 16 or in the Elite 8 or in the Final 4. And you see them towel over the face, shirt over the face, literally in tears. And when I saw it before, when I was a kid, I would be like, why is he crying? But now that I've gotten older and I've started to understand, I see it and I'm like, yep, I would be too.
Yeah. To the point, I've had it to multiple points where I was like visibly and physically sick afterwards.
Oh, yeah. There's been a couple of times where I've played, another example, going to like baseball. Like you saw Vladdy when he lost the World Series in Toronto. He was sitting there in the dugout for like 15 minutes after, just staring out in the field and with tears streaming down his face.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, like I feel that because there have been seasons where I've played baseball where I've been the last out of the season.
Oh,
dude, talk about
that's rough,
dude.
That's rough.
And times I said, so it's happened more than it's happened. Like I think it's happened to me 3 times.
That's rough.
It is rough, and granted, I've played. I started when I was 4 to 18, and then I've played 3 seasons of softball and baseball after the fact. So that's 14. So 17 years. I've played, my baseball career can damn near vote.
Yeah.
And I've played not 18 seasons. I've played probably at some points 3 seasons in the same year. So basically multiply that by 2. So 36 different seasons of baseball.
Yeah.
And 3 of them have ended with me being the last out. Those I remember more than me sitting on the bench waiting for the last out to be thrown and me storming the field because we just won a championship.
Yeah.
And it does hurt. But like you feel that more, and that's supposed to drive you.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I don't want to ever feel that again.
And also a terrible feeling, now that we're talking about, I'm like, my last ever collegiate game ended on a loss, and there was nothing I could do about it.
Yeah. Think of what happened with these guys from Notre Dame, too, going back to college football. They didn't know that was going to be their last game.
Yeah.
And then now this whole thing happens with the opt-out and everything like that.
Yeah.
And imagine how those guys must feel. Yeah. Like when they go home from classes or whatever, and we got practice today. No, you don't. No, that was it, dude. That's it.
It's a rough feeling. Everybody that's played sports, at least from even in high school, man, it's like for a lot of people they don't progress to college.
Yeah,
And a lot of them who do get to college, a lot of them don't stay 4 years.
Well, think about it. That happens really at every stage, and it kind of narrows it down as you get higher in the levels. You go from high school to college. There are 20% of guys who play college or high school football might go to college and play at some level of college football, and then you take another maybe 5% of those guys end up going pro out of college football.
It's less, but yeah.
Well, just to make the math easier. And then you have, of those guys that make it to pro, let's say of the draftees, 25% actually make a career for themselves and stay in the league for a long time.
Yeah, because most of them are busts.
Right, yeah. Or guys who are undrafted get signed to a practice squad, never see the actual field, never get any playing time.
Breaking news, Terrence Crawford just retired.
Really?
With a record of 42-0.
Well. Damn. All right, well.
Also, John Cena retired.
John Cena did retire. Now we can see him.
No.
No.
No. Don't say it.
But, dude, talk about one of the most influential people in recent history.
Yeah.
Pretty much, I don't want to say put WWE on the map, but helped it out drastically. And made a lot of kids watch WWE because he was such a prominent figure with the youth.
Yeah, man. It's getting to the point where we're getting to the age. Our childhood is just retiring.
I don't know what you're talking about because Phillip Rivers came back and he threw a touchdown pass.
Phillip Rivers,
it felt like it was 2009.
Phillip Rivers almost won that game.
He did. And he wasn't moving in the pocket, but he was like...
He can't, dude. He's a senior citizen when it comes to football.
He was like dancing in the pocket a little bit, kind of like... What?
You think that man is going to rush for yards?
No, but I'm saying like he was. You saw him step up in the pocket a little bit. You saw him kind of
He
move
probably
to the
needs
outside
at
a little
least
bit.
3 games to get him back.
Yeah,
but
he's got 3 more games if he plays if he plays out the rest of the season and plays all playoff game. I think he'll get comeback player of the year.
Oh yeah,
because
he'll get it right now.
Honestly, probably
that's my vote.
Yeah, because you damn near won that game. You played against arguably the best defense in the NFL right now in the Seahawks defense.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, so now the big news that we were going to talk about, was it Sunday? Yeah, I think it was on Sunday.
Saturday?
Saturday, Sunday, whatever.
It was Saturday because we watched the Army-Navy game.
Big dog Sharon Moore fired for Michigan.
Fired and arrested and was recently arraigned.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So there's a lot of details that I'm going to leave out, mainly because I don't want to get flagged.
That, and because a lot of it is up in the air and speculation. Like, there's lots of different rumors circulating.
A lot of things were
it.
alleged. We know what he was arrested for, but we don't know if it's accurate.
Well, so there are a couple of details that were stated in court that we know are probably fact, but are still, we should say, alleged.
I'm going to say alleged for everything.
Yeah.
Based off of legal purposes. But here, let me pull up the text, and I will proofread it to make sure.
So, little bit of backstory, though.
Oh, this was going to be with the backstory in it.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh, boy.
So, good old Sharon Moore.
Yes.
He gets hired because Harbaugh leaves for the NFL because Harbaugh knew.
He gets appointed.
He gets appointed by
he was
Ward
already
Manuel.
with the team. Yes.
Yeah, because Harbaugh knew, Ward Manuel knew, the writing was on the wall. Harbaugh was going to get banned.
Yeah.
He was going to get banned because of the whole Connor Stallions bullshit.
Apparently, there was I can't remember what they're called, but like the not the show cause order, but like the like you can't be seen on a college campus
Yeah.
like that. That type of ban.
Yeah. He was going to get banned, so he left for the NFL and said, fuck you.
Well, I mean, and he already got his national championship. Now he's after that Super Bowl
yeah,
anyway.
so he didn't really fucking care.
No.
So Sharon gets appointed. All right. I don't know exact timeline, but I'm going to say probably around halfway through his first season, he's fucking around with Staffer, allegedly.
Allegedly, his assistant.
His assistant. So yeah, that there was a clause in his contract, and just in general, don't fuck your coworkers.
Yeah, I mean that. You think that would be common sense?
Especially after Mel Tucker.
Yeah. Well, and especially in that type of setting too, where you have, you're not just a coach, you're a mentor for younger adults.
Yeah. Well, they're having an affair, they're doing their stuff. Somewhere along the way, she becomes pregnant, allegedly.
Allegedly.
I'm going to leave out the next part.
Yeah.
But he ends up paying for her service, allegedly.
And upping her salary.
And
in the off season.
Yeah, I think it was because of that service that was. So she was making $55,000, and basically overnight, poof, you're making $90,000. And the way office politics work, from what my aunt has told me, because she works in a corporate environment, people talk a lot.
Oh yeah, I mean. Yeah.
And if coworkers are messing around, they immediately know.
Yep.
So the investigation got opened up.
Yeah, there were rumors that were circulating. The university had heard whispers, but there was nothing confirmed. Nobody had come forth.
And they actually interviewed both Sharon and the girl, and they denied it.
Yeah.
So they were like, all right, we're going to close this, but we're going to put a bookmark in it.
So more backstory, more information. Sharon Moore is married with 3 children, and this alleged secretary, is I believe engaged.
She was, yes. Sharon, I guess at this point, at the start of the affair, he only had 2, but nonetheless, he's married with kids.
Still married and still had kids.
Yes. Yeah. So Michigan puts a bookmark into it, and this is according to Josh Pate. Everybody knew Sharon was going to get fired, but it was a matter of when, because they thought everybody knew Sharon was a bridge coach. They knew he wasn't the long-term option.
No, I mean that's what we had talked about that, I think, on the pod too. We were like, Sharon Moore is just like a placeholder until they find someone who actually takes over the job. And he might reprise his role as offensive coordinator and still stay with the team.
So they knew he was going to get fired. It just wasn't known when. And because this is probably what any organization would do, not just Michigan. If you can fire somebody and not have to buy them out, I'd like that option.
I mean,
it wasn't like we couldn't afford it, but why pay the guy when you don't have to?
So the reason why that worked out is because he was fired due to cause. And because of that, in his contract that he had signed, if he was fired for that reason, it voided his contract for that year.
All right, but either way, Michigan wanted to fire him, and then we lost to Oklahoma. This is this year.
Yeah.
We lost to Oklahoma, and they were already wanting to fire him. So they were like, we're probably going to fire him soon. But we started to win again. And they were like, Then we lost to USC, and I guess the rumors picked up after Oklahoma. Again.
Yeah. So they picked up after Oklahoma. We started to win, so they kept him around. The investigation opened back up again.
Yeah.
And then after we had lost to USC, apparently the decision was made, like, we're probably going to fire him, but we're most likely waiting until the end of the year. He could end up taking us to another playoff appearance.
Yeah. So, and then it was very close games against both Northwestern and Purdue, and they were very getting sick of him at this point.
Yeah.
Um,
Fans, I mean, shit, the fans were too, to be honest
yeah,
with you.
everybody was kind of getting sick of the bullshit at this point. But then, oh my God, we beat Maryland how we were supposed to beat Maryland, and they were like, okay, but then we lose to Ohio State.
Which isn't a terrible surprise.
Yeah, the writing was on the wall.
Yeah.
And there's some other bullshit that came out about that too.
And another reason why he was wanted to be fired was because of the way he was handling the offense and the way he was handling the playbook and the play on the field.
Yeah, so apparently the rumors got out. Like almost as immediately at like it was almost like 30 minutes after the game ended, rumors got out of the building.
Oh, yeah.
Rumors got out of the building about the affair.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much that's when they were like, all right, we have to. And they brought Sharon in and they were like, hey, man, you want to explain this to us? And he was like, no.
Yeah, no.
Why
would I admit guilt?
Yeah, so they were like, you're done, bud. Pack your shit.
So there was another key detail in there. The reason why he was brought in and the reason why the rumors got out is because there was a University of Michigan student who was not named who delivered an Instacart order to the secretary's house. And the way Instacart works is you have the person's first and last name and the address who you delivered to. So you know who you're delivering to. And if this person was in the University of Michigan and they most likely, knew who Sharon Moore was and knew who the secretary or his assistant was.
You ain't a fish stringer.
Yeah. So he saw, the name on the Instacart order, drove to the house, delivered the Instacart order, and allegedly saw Sharon Moore in this woman's house in his underpants.
Yep. That'd do it.
Hey, is that Coach Moore? What are you doing in your underpants? I'm like, what the hell? So apparently,
not at your wife's house.
Yeah, and not at your house. So apparently this person texted somebody and was like, yo, I just saw Sharon Moore in his underpants at this woman's house. And it ended up getting out, or somebody told somebody, and the university found out about it and brought him in.
And now it came out, too, that she snitched.
Yeah. Apparently, because apparently they, before they had brought him in and officially fired him, they talked to her, went to her one more time, and she admitted it.
Yeah. So, this is all alleged, but it has to be talked about, and
it was in court. It was said in court.
Yeah, but it might get flagged on YouTube.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
so
we're reporting at this point.
I know, but I want to say still allegedly because he ain't in jail. So
no, but I mean, he was arraigned and he does have a tether.
Yeah. All right. So Sharon, but I know one of the S word is definitely going.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe don't. Yeah.
So he goes.
There's other ways of saying that.
Yes. So he gets fired. I'm going through what would probably go through his brain because obviously I'm not Sharon. He gets fired. He goes home. He's crying at this point, most likely.
I mean, yeah, because you're upset.
This is the best thing that ever happened to him coaching wise. He tells his wife.
Yeah, coaching wise.
He tells his wife, "Hey, I just got shit canned, and I ain't getting the buyout money either."
Well, and then you also have to tell your wife why you were fired.
Yes.
Because if you don't tell her, she's gonna find out.
Yeah, she was going to find out anyways. But
she arguably allegedly already knew.
Yeah. So he confesses to his wife what's been happening. She's probably not happy.
Probably.
She's not happy.
Very not happy.
So it's probably not a great conversation to have. Well, Sharon starts breaking down and says, "Hey, man, I'm gonna go try and meet Jesus."
Yeah. But I'm taking someone with me.
I'm taking somebody with me. Proceeds to go to affair partner's house. And I'm not clear if he was let in or he broke in.
Yeah, it was. I'd have to watch the video again. I think it was that he was let in, that he went to the house.
Either way, he says, "Hey, I want to meet Jesus, but I'm taking you with me."
Well, so in court, it didn't say anything about him threatening her. He said allegedly to her, in what was said in court, was that he went in there, he grabbed a knife out of the drawer, multiple knives out of the drawer, and threatened his own life and threatened to make her watch, and that the blood would be on her hands.
It's not really an important detail, but from what I was told, the knives were butter knives.
Yeah,
I mean, to make light of a situation, it's kind of funny.
It's kind of funny. Yeah.
I'm like, you really threatened yourself with butter knives, really?
Yeah, dude. I mean, they still have edges on them, but
It'd take a while.
Yeah, it'd be a lot more painful and probably a lot messier than if you just grabbed like a steak knife. But that's besides the fact.
That's besides the point.
That's yeah.
Cops were called. He flees the scene and is apparently arrested right outside of a church because you might as well confess.
Yeah, you might. I mean, he did want to meet Jesus, so there you
might
go.
as well confess in front of him because he'll forgive you.
Yeah, he will.
You gotta change a lot, but
The justice system won't, though.
yeah, justice system won't. So yeah.
Yeah, so then he gets held in court for a little, I think, just under a week. Then he gets arraigned. There's footage of him being arraigned.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where we sit.
Yeah.
With that whole situation. Now Michigan needs a new coach to go into this this next season. Biff Poggi has been named the interim head coach for the bowl game against Texas.
So here's, now that Sherron is gone, I hate the circumstance. I'm actually happy he's gone.
Yeah.
But here's the issue.
Well, before you continue with that, now even if let's say the story stopped after him getting fired for cause. Let's say it stopped there. He went on his merry way. He's still, the affair and everything like that was true, but he sat at home and he dealt with it with his wife. Now, everything after that didn't happen with the arrest and everything like that. I still would have been glad that he was fired, because somebody who's doing stuff like that probably doesn't have their head fully involved in football.
Oh.
And there's another thing. Apparently, during the Ohio State game,
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah.
he was DMing or texting with OnlyFans models wanting to set up one-on-one interactions and group interactions.
He literally asked for a foursome.
I was going to avoid that word in case we got flagged, but okay. But yeah, and this is not during, Central Michigan, not during Northwestern, during Ohio State.
Either way, during a game at halftime,
Yeah.
I don't care who it's against. It could have been against Apple. No. It could have been against Prairie View A&M. And we were up by 70. During a game, you would be fired immediately.
Right, but it's such, like, the fact that it was against Ohio State, it adds salt to the wound.
Yeah.
Because you're like, yeah, we don't care if your head's not fully in the game, if you're up by 50 at half against Bishop Foley or whoever the hell we're playing,
Honestly,
but it's Ohio State.
If he wasn't married and he did that and we were up by 50, I would be like, you know what? Respect.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're like, dude,
get your head in the fucking game.
Yeah, get your head in the game. You're the head coach. You need to be focused on this game and getting your players into the game ready to go out for the third quarter.
Yep.
Not thinking about puss.
Yeah. Yeah, and apparently he DM'd these models before the season or the start of the season saying, hey, how about we set up some one-on-one time and I'll get you season tickets? And they go, no, we're good.
We can afford our own tickets.
Yep, they're OnlyFans models at the University of Michigan. They're making quite a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, it didn't specify whether or not they were at the University of Michigan or not.
Actually,
Were they?
yeah.
I mean, because I heard that he had there were a couple of them that he had wanted to fly out.
I'm not saying there aren't, but there were like 2 or 3 of them that avidly go to the University of Michigan.
There you go.
So, all right, now that that's out of the way, the part where Michigan football, this sucks for Michigan football, and is because we just had early signing day.
Yeah.
All those letters of intent are now void because your head coach just got fired. So they are now getting contacted by everybody.
Yeah.
And the transfer portal opens up January 2nd. So anybody on Michigan, because that's normal transfer portal for anybody for 2 weeks, can leave. Anyways.
Bryce Underwood.
Yeah, Bryce Underwood's probably going to LSU.
I'd put money on it because it came out this morning that Bryce Underwood followed LSU on Instagram.
Yeah, and the only other football team he follows is Michigan.
Yeah.
So it's probably a done deal. Honestly, to be honest with you, I thought it was going to happen anyways.
I didn't think it was going to happen after this year. I thought maybe after next year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was going to happen too.
So that's an issue. And then whenever we do get a coach, if motherfuckers don't like him, they can just leave.
Yeah. Or, yeah, let's say you hire someone on and recruits don't want to play for that guy.
They're allowed to.
Yeah, they're allowed to say no. They're allowed to decommit and go somewhere else.
Yeah. So that's what really sucks. And now to the part where it's like, all right, this Ward Manuel guy, what the actual fuck? Because not only did he have the Connor Stallions bullshit, he has this bullshit now. Now, granted,
he had other shit in between too.
He's had like 15 other big scandals and then a whole bunch of other shit that everybody has to deal with. But come on, man.
Yeah,
like you had the shit with Weiss, you had other shit. I think Michigan's taking so long on this because they're trying to figure out whether they're going to keep Ward or not. Because I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't either. I would get rid of him. And I would hire a new AD.
It's like when they fired the AD that had that was in charge of Jimbo Fisher's contract and Brian Kelly's or whoever's contract, and that got all the buyout money. They fired him because he caused over $116 million of buyout money.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, who knows how many
scandals he had? But
well, that's another thing. But how much money Ward Manuel has cost University of Michigan too? With the cheating scandal, I mean, you had money that was forfeited there too, with the computer scandal.
Yeah,
you definitely had to pay people money there, and now you just lost. I mean, you kept $13 million in this, but you're gonna have to pay how much money to hire a new coach, and I mean, essentially, you lost money on this season.
Yeah, especially because you weren't in the playoffs, and usually. Well, I shouldn't say usually Michigan's in the playoffs, but now they have a better chance of always making it to the playoffs. But I think they're trying to figure out what they're going to do because, granted, Michigan is probably the best coaching job open right now. It's the most coveted for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Because people were expecting this, and I bet you Michigan put their feelers out because they knew Sherron was going to get fired. So, with that being said, is Kalen DeBoer already said no. And he actually did this time. He made an official statement.
I saw that. So you have I wrote down the top contenders. So you have as of right now, I think we both talked about it. We would rather have Kenny Dillingham come here and coach.
But he also said that they haven't contacted him, so...
Well, I mean, going back to what we were just saying, if they're contemplating firing the AD, then you would be the AD who would hire on somebody else.
Yeah.
Jesse Minter, Brian Dable, Chip Kelly.
I don't know if I would like Dable.
I mean, he does have NFL experience.
That's true.
John Harbaugh. Because there is talks about him getting fired from Baltimore. He's been there for a really long time. They haven't really had a good year this year.
Yeah.
Or seeing what John Gruden's doing.
Now, that's kind of a pipe dream.
Yeah, I mean, he has been out of the game, but he has a really good football mind.
Yeah.
Or Jeb Fish.
From the Browns.
So
that's who I heard as well. I also heard Drinkowitz from Mizzou.
I did hear that one.
The dude from Washington, as in the Huskies. Whoever their head coach is. But
I thought I had it written down.
The problem is like, you need to figure out in-house situation what you're going to do. Because now this has to go...
Oh, Jed Fish is Washington's football coach.
Oh, okay. That, like, they're going to have to figure this out in-house. So this has a very not likelihood of happening again.
Mm-hmm.
Because whether you want it to happen or not, it stained the University of Michigan's name.
Oh, yeah, and they were talking about that in 97-1 earlier this week. Or it would have been earlier this week. Today's Tuesday. Or it could have been last week, like late last week. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were talking about like how it, it's kind of dampened the University of Michigan's name, and it, this used to be a really awesome university to go to and to support, and that the donors. What are the donors going to think now? Are they going to get the same amount of money from the donors that they have been? Now that all these scandals are going to going on, because if you have a AD who you don't like the way he's handling things, and you don't like the way things have gone underneath him, why would somebody give their money willingly to somebody they don't support?
Yeah.
That happens all the time in government politics, where you see people not lobbying for different candidates because they don't like what they support, and they send their money someplace else.
This is what I have heard online. That even though this is all going on and Michigan's figuring out in-house right now, they have an idea who their guy is.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you probably have who you've already talked with, who has shown interest previously, or who is in, like who you would want to talk to.
Yeah.
Because let's say you have, let's say you talk to this person behind the scenes, or you've heard from somebody that, a reporter or something like that, or somebody who's in the NCAA space. They already talked to Jed Fish, and he doesn't want to leave Washington.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he's out of the question.
Yeah.
Kalen DeBoer, he already came out with it. He's not going to want to leave. Let's say Brian Dable wants to go after another NFL job. Okay, he's not going to want to come to college. So you have really, of those X amount of candidates we just talked about, that eliminates 3 of them, so that pretty much cut your decision in half. So
this is what there's a part 2 kind of to that statement. The donors, minus all the scandal, now that Sharon is gone, they want to open their pockets more.
Yeah, I mean that could be another part of it too. It's like, okay, now that Ward Manuel is gone and Sharon Moore is gone, let's say you get somebody in here who really takes care of the university and the athletic department, and they clean things up and they restore the University of Michigan to what it formerly was known as, like in the late 90s, early 2000s. That's not going to happen overnight.
No.
But also, donors could help with that. They could be like, okay, now, this is someone that I trust. This is someone who has a good reputation. I can know that my money is going to a good place when I give it to the university now. Or I can, up my donation price that I was giving previously, that I might have cut in half after this had happened.
I think, and this is what I'll end off with, is I think Michigan as soon as they figure out what they're doing in house, is primed and ready to start making some major moves.
Yeah. The only concern that I have is that those decisions will be too late, and won't be able to you won't be able to see the effects soon enough that
Yeah.
you'll see them years down the line.
I would like to have this done before,
The new year.
yeah, for sure.
Definitely, yeah. Because like you're saying, January 4th is opening up to NIL, the NIL portal. You already have a few guys who have declared for the portal, but haven't obviously officially put their names in because that deadline hasn't hit yet.
Yeah.
But you can only speculate how many guys will leave. We speculated that Bryce Underwood's going to be leaving.
Yeah.
How is this going to affect your recruiting class? How is this going to affect your fans? How many people are still going to come and support the University of Michigan? You're still going to have those blue bloods. You're still going to have guys like me and you who are going to go out there and going to root for the university no matter what. But
And honestly, Biff ain't a bad choice right now.
no, we could very well win this game against Texas. This is a very winnable game. Biff Poggi did coach the first 2-3 games of this season
Yeah.
when Sharon Moore was suspended. So
Yeah, I'm. It'll be interesting to see what happens, but they
Yeah.
need to do it quick. I think if I was them, I would have made a decision already to just cut Ward.
yeah, but there's probably a lot of hoops you have to jump through with that. There's probably a lot of
Yeah.
people you have to talk to beforehand.
Yeah,
So it's
it is true.
and it's not necessarily that. We don't know exactly what went on behind the scene or what's going on behind the scenes, but he's not the one who necessarily did anything wrong. But he had let stuff like this happen underneath his
Yeah.
nose.
Who knows?
Yes, yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. All right. Well, I know you have a quiz, but I was going to ask you to hold off.
Oh, okay.